to our webinar. Thank you for joining this new ST-2110 resource sharing. We will talk about, I'm Satoshi Kanemura, President of FOR-A America. And then for technical question, I don't think I can answer. So I invited our CTO, Bob Peterson. Bob, say hello to everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to have you all with us today. Be happy to answer any questions that we can, and anything that we can't answer, we'll have answers for you at NAB. So come and see us there.
Alrighty. Yes. Please come to NAB. So talk about IP. Everybody, I think, already have experience of IP. IP is a good solution. IP is good to go, right? Is that correct, right? I believe so, that IP is the future. No question. You don't need to worry about 3G to 12G. You still have, cat cable, so you don't need to worry about upgrade plans, or it's all over the place, remote, whatsoever. You can send in the data as a network. It sounds very good. So IP solution, we have to go. And everybody say that setup is very easy because IP. Cost going to be down because, costs can be usable. So cost is going to be down, operation very quickly. No question, that's IP is a great solution. But is that really? That's my question to you, everybody. Is that really you can enjoy reduction of the cost by doing the IP, and then set up with switch and everything is so easy now? So definitely future is IP, but I think we are in a transition. So the topic today is how we can reduce the cost such IP environment. And one of the keyword is this, how efficiently do resource sharing. So let's talk about that. We all know SDI well, but during the SDI days, for do the sharing the informations, we never use, I even don't know well, but the no name of RDS or broadcast controller, that's gonna be needed. You do some sharing. By the way, Bob, what is this RDS or broadcast controller? It's the first thing for the IP world, right?
Right. So the RDS is Registration and Discovery Services. So in the IP world, everything is based on network IP addresses, but you can imagine trying to assign equipment based on an IP address and is just too much, too much work. So the RDS system will discover and register devices that are available on your network. And once those are available, then you can connect to them with a broadcast controller to assign those devices to your production.
So the IP world, because of this RDS and the broadcast controller, you can do good sharing resources to manage for the productions. So then in case of something like this type of environment, some station has Studio A.
Yeah, this would be a typical system where you've got a couple of different vendors. Right. Each vendor has their own RDS system. They have their own broadcast controller. And so as long as you're working within the vendor's system, you don't notice any problem.
So you can beautifully shared all the resources. How about between the island?
So between vendors is where the problems arise, because while the NMOS system is designed to allow multiple RDS systems to coexist on the same network, NMOS doesn't specifically designate how you make all of your calls and within the system. So there's some room for ambiguity, and a lot of simple things can happen. RDS system number one calls a resource camera one. Another one calls it by a different name. So broadcast controller A has difficulty finding it on RDS B. So there's no bridge between the systems.
Got it. So still every vendor support NMOS I04, I05, but still vendor unique registration or whatever system that prevent freely, resource share between the islands. Then in case people start having centralized resource share, if that's the case, what happened is from A studio or B studio.
Right. It opens up a question of can the RDS from vendor A, can it discover these shared resources? Because the shared resources are scattered across the network and not within a specific island. So FOR-A was asked to create an overriding or a hierarchical RDS that could discover resources anywhere in the network.
Okay. So even currently, one island try talk to the shared resources, the other island cannot talk to that island. Then the other island try to talk to the shared resources, ask them to cut off Studio A and come in. So it's very cumbersome operation. Have to
It
be
is. It
completed.
is. And in an ideal world where NMOS 0405 was followed exactly to the letter by everybody,
Yeah.
then it would be possible without any assistance. But in the real world, we're going to provide, and you'll see it at the booth, a way to bridge different vendors' RDS systems so that their broadcast controller can find any device on the network.
So somebody have to do good orchestrations of all
Exactly.
RDS. That's
Yep.
why I think you put the name of this.
We're calling it a RDS conductor.
Okay, that's
Yep.
kind
So we're standing on top, and we're conducting all of the resource sharing for everybody.
and by having that, so they can reduce their resources in each island. They can centralize everything into the shared resources. That very help on the reduction of the cost or number of the hardware.
True, and while we don't provide a broadcast controller, we're using your existing broadcast controller, but we allow you to see all devices regardless of the vendor across your network. And we take it a little step further. We allow you to schedule availability of those shared resources so that when you're ready to use them in your program, they appear as available on your RDS.
So all the shared resources going to be registered into the RDS. So that can be accessible from each island RDS. So it looks like virtually Island A RDS talk to the shared resources, but actually through this conductor orchestrating all the requests. And you said even scheduler there. So
And even as, yeah, we've added a scheduler so that these shared resources that are kind of ad hoc resources across the network, you want to be sure that they're available when you plan to use them. So by adding scheduling, which moves them from one RDS system to another, then you have assurance that you'll have it when you need it.
no, nice. And then, okay, so you can schedule the shared resources and then we know who are using at the moment, or then by request, maybe they can even control what shared resources needed, what shared resources has to added, kind of. So again, so by having this, number one, everybody can reduce the equipment from each island. They can centralize the equipment as a share resources. So that's help on the cost reductions. And then number two, because of this, you said the scheduler or assignables or registration already. So that gives people for more efficiency or effectiveness of their workflow. And it looks like this is so vendor-free solution. So even another new studio gonna be vendor C or vendor D or whatsoever. It doesn't matter as long as this RDS conductor can register the shared resources. They can distribute it to each studio. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, everybody can see everything across their entire network.
Mm.
And so the glue devices, the odds and ends that you need, are available wherever you need them. Of course, the nice thing about 2110 is that it is able to make resources available anywhere within your network. It's the advantage of it over the SDI is that you don't have to worry about having tie lines going from studio to studio in order to route your resources one place to another.
Yeah. So sounds nice. So that's RDS conductor to do this, but then key issue, the next subject going to be how you're going to manage such shared resources. And of course, you can pile all the processors or multi-view, but still hardware, you have to keep up and down. Sometimes big show starts, they need bunch processor, but next day they need only few number of the processors, so the needs going to be changed. So any good solution now from 4A?
So FOR-A has launched a product lineup initially with the FA1616, and it is not, it's a hybrid. It is video specific equipment. It's hardware. It's not just a computer operating system, but it is configurable. So software defined. So it can be what you need. So our initial launch is the FA1616, which follows on our 505s, 1010s, FA9600s that are a mix of SDI to IP conversion, up-down cross, frame sync, color correctors, SDR, HDR conversions in a fixed, not a fixed configuration, but a certain number of resources. Then at the show this year, you'll also see
Oh,
the,
before that,
go
Bob.
ahead, sorry.
Yeah, if we have 5, 16, 16 on the shared resources, so we can do one day we're gonna use all five as an up-down cross, but the next day I can use three of them for just SDR, HDR conversion, two of them for just the frame sync. Is that kind of switch
That's
back?
true. You can choose any of the features. The features are all available on each channel group. So I can do frame sync, color correction, and up-down cross at the same time.
Mm.
Or I can have a specific function. It's your choice to what you can do.
So that's why we call it a software defined. So you
That's
don't need
why.
adding any hardware, just a selection of function you want on the software.
So the software defined platform takes a little sidetrack on that.
Okay.
So since we have this hardware engine that can do all of these functions, the engineers decided, well, why don't we just allow you to burn in specific functions as you need them? And that's the software defined platform that you see on your right.
Wow.
So in that one, I start out with a blank slate. And so if I want all of my IO to be color corrected, then I can just load the software definition for color correction. If I want it to be a multi-view, if I want it to be downstream keys, or a mix of any of these, then I can define it that way. So rather than having fixed configuration of features in a FA1616, we open it up so that you can modify it day to day.
Ah, so I don't want just having that hardware stuck, then you can configurable any function you want, depending on needs or depend on requests from each island or each of days or each target.
Hmm?
Huh, sounds nice.
So do
So
you want to take Lewis's question since he's a current FOR-A customer?
okay.
So Lewis asks, he says that he already owns XT 100, 490s, 2000s, and asks if they will be 2110 compatible. And initially, Louis, they will not be compatible. The signal flow for SDI and 2110, while similar, are not compatible. So we do have, though, the FA1616 can act as a gateway for SDI to 2110. So in that way, yes, you can bring 2110 environment in, convert it to SDI into your existing equipment.
Yep. That's a perfect equipment for the transition from SDI to
Perfect
IP.
equipment for transition, yes. So
Okay. So having introduced what we think, then how are we going to show at NAB then?
So on the RDS conductor, of
Mm.
course, we will show it connected to Alavo and to Riedel RDS and broadcast control systems. And we'll demonstrate how our shared resources can become part of those two systems infrastructure.
Okay. So that is, we try to prove it that our RDS conductor can talk not only FOR-A, but the Ravo or Riedel
Correct.
type of IP domain, the RDS. And then also we're going to hook FS1616 and the software-defined platform as a share resources. Then Ravo or Riedel can access to that share resources.
That's correct. I think for the software system, we're doing what the downstream key configuration we're showing.
Yes.
And we have, of course, we have 2110 multi-viewers as well that would be available.
Yeah, so this is just our, demo. So I really want to have all of you come to NAB to tell us what is good, what is bad, or especially share resources, what function is needed. The DSK we bring it over is like a little think about emergency backup for the master control. If your big IP switcher is somehow hung up, then we can do like a switching video and audio and put the DSK on to the kind of emergency backup of master control, which can be shared with any studio if something happened. So that's one of the idea we have, but you should have more idea or more wish list, I guess. So we really would like to talk to you. So today's webinar point out on how to reduce the cost and increase the efficiency. So one of the proposal is using RDS much better way. So adding RDS conductor to orchestrate each vendor, each system's RDS to talk to any shared resources. That way, you can reduce the cost of ownership of each island, and then also you can increase efficiency. And to support that, we provide shared resources hardware, but that is software-defined platform. So you can assign any function you need, even in this morning, in the afternoon, you can change day over. You don't need to adding new hardware, endlessly. So you just assign the function within that platform. So, and then we're going to prove you and how RDS conductor can talk to each vendor. So that's a kind of summary of what we talk about today. And this is, sorry, industry webinar, but still FOR-A webinar, so I have to do the little commercial. So our NAB booth is Central for 4507. It's just nearby entrance, one of entrance of the Central Hall. And then also one day before the show starts on April 13th, Saturday, 3 p.m., we have a FOR-A Connect welcome reception event. We're going to talk about more solution, not only this IP, but there are a bunch other solution we prepare. So we try to announce what it is, and I would like you to connect you to people, solution, and the future at the event. I think you can see the link of a chat area, I guess, how to register to that. So we welcome to this our booth and then our FOR-A welcome reception for a Connect. So thank you very much today. So we pretty much run out of time, but maybe we have to answer some questions. So let me see what kind of question is come. Oh, it's very specific question for FS1616. What about LUTs on FS1616?
Yeah, so we support the full range of 2D and 3D LUTs, same as we have on the FA9600.
Yeah, so 1D and 3Ds, all LUTs, or any custom LUTs like MBC, CBS, everybody has their own LUTs, and then we can import it and then do apply the LUTs. Any other question is, the RDS conductor requires some specific hardware?
No, it's a software only product, so it's just running on a COTS.
Okay, so that's a software solution. Okay, and it's a little unique question, but this guy mentioned about broadcast. You talk about RDS, but the broadcast controller also it's a vendor unique or functionality. Then only RDS can help that. Or...
So the broadcast controller can have unique features from each vendor. So that's one of the reasons that we have the high RDS, hierarchical RDS, is that we make the resources available in a way that the vendor's broadcast controller understands.
So yeah, broadcast controller still is pretty much vendor unique, but as long as RDS shares all the resources, then broadcast controller can talk. So that should be fine. Oh, the question is that a subscription-based one-time fee Mac window compatible? Please come to our booth. We can sit down and give you the answer. Okay. I'm sorry, the moderator gave me the sign, run out of time at the moment. So we try answer to all the question you already gave us back to you. And then of course, as I said, we're happy to answer all the question if you come to our booth. Bob Peterson, myself is always available for you. Okay, so all right,
Mike,
and I think okay.
Just making a note here on chat, if anyone has any questions at all, they can just send them to info@for-a.com and we
you can
can
see
answer them back.
Yeah, and then also already Bob, Farron already give our email address.
Oh, okay, very good.
So
better yet.
Yeah, you can talk to us anything. So okay, so that's all about today's webinar. I hope it's gonna help to reduce your cost and increase efficiency. And then I really would like to have more open discussion with you at NAB. So thank you very much for joining today. And then we recorded on this, and we're going to distribute to you of this recording material. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. See you
Thank
at
you.
NAB.